accounts information presents a big opportunity to make more profits and to make your business more resilient to the ebbs and flows of the economy. Accounts are just not about numbers. They're not just a historical record of trading activities. Annual accounts, payroll, tax computations are all very confusing to the non-accountant. But you don't need to understand all the detail. You don't need specialist knowledge. But what you do need is an understanding of how to interpret them. Put it another way, you don't need to understand what's under the bonnet of a car to be able to drive it. All you need to understand is some key performance indicators and to take appropriate action when you see there's movements in those indicators. In summary, the 5 things that I would recommend that you do with regard to your accounting information. Firstly, make sure your accounts are up to date and provide you with that information which is appropriate to your business. Acting on out-of-date information can lead to poor decisions. Your accounts should always be updated monthly and the results should be presented to you. Secondly, analyse your sales, be it in terms of product, services, area, groups of products, whichever is appropriate to your business. This should be part of your finance system. You need to know where your revenue is coming from. You need to be able to analyse which products are profitable and which ones are not so profitable. Let's face it, a successful business is one that focuses on, that produces the results. So drop those weak products and services. Thirdly, I would say to you, keep an eye on all your costs. Look for ways to reduce the cost of your purchases for goods that you actually resell. Look closely at those costs which are not necessarily linked directly to your sales. I'm not saying you should think it from a point of view of just money, but let's face it, if you cut your advertising, your sales almost certainly will go down. And for heaven's sake, don't get rid of the coffee machine, because that may cause problems with your motivation of your team. The fourth one, and I think this is probably the most important, is make cash management your priority. Careful management of debtors and creditors is vital. Work hard to get your money in from your clients, but try to obtain the maximum amount of credit from your suppliers. But do pay them regularly. Don't really hack them off because you don't pay them, because they'll stop supplying you and they really will give you a bad reputation. And the last one, if you can't do it yourself, get somebody else to do it, but do a cash flow forecast for at least 3 months in advance. This will give you an early warning of when you've got any shortages of cash, so you can trot off to the bank, have a chat with the bank manager and get a temporary facility. I have a client who's just landed an order which is the equivalent of 3 or 4 months of their turnover. In 3 or 4 months, they will have to pay out before they receive any money. So their overdraft is going to be pushed to the limit and they don't want to find themselves in trouble. So there you have it. 5 things you should do. Make sure your account's up to date, analyse your sales, keep an eye on all your costs, make cash flow an important thing in your life, and prepare cash flow statements regularly.
For more information, go to www.foresightmanagement.co.uk.